Alrighty, so we almost have a short block together. We have one piston left to do, and I left that because I wanted to show you guys that I am using the max speeding rods, okay? I am gonna be the guinea pig and try these out, see how they go. So I know I did a little review video about a month or two ago on these rods, but I never really installed anything. You know, I never went and put bearings in it. I never went and stuck the pins in it. So I didn't really do, you know, all of the assembly stuff on it. So in doing that, I can give a little bit better review on, you know, the quality and the finish and all that. So the only issue I really had was on, I believe it was 2 of the rods, maybe 3. It was 2 or 3 rods had to be kind of honed out on the small end, okay, where there's a bronze bushing, because the pin wasn't sliding in nice like I wanted it to, okay? So I had to hone it, and all I did was use a little Scotch-Brite and basically use my finger. I didn't use any kind of like a tool, a honing tool or anything. Just went in there with my finger and kind of, you know, cleaned it up to get it to where it would spin, you know, go insert nicely and not have to use any kind of force. Okay, so like I said, it was just a couple of those. And it wasn't the pins, because the pins were all measured the same. It was the bushings. Okay. What else? A couple of the cap bolts. It's not the bolts. It was actually the threads, you know, in the rod itself had a couple burrs. Okay. Nothing major. I think it was actually this one here. It had a burr right here that I had to get in there and kind of clean out, and it just, threading the bolt in, it just kind of was hanging up a little bit. So that didn't get quite finished very well. And it was only like 1 or 2 of those that did that, okay? So let's go over the main bearing clearances, and I'll kind of go over what bearings I used and why. So as you can see, we'll start with the rods. The rods we have between, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this or not, because it's not really, I can't really see it on video, but 0.004 to 0.003 of clearance, which is a little more clearance than what you would normally go with on a 2J. That's because I went with the HX bearings. And the reason why is because I messaged Real Street over in Orlando, and I told them, you know, what I have going on, and that I'm running a GE block that has no oil squirters, okay? So if you have no oil squirters and you're gonna be using a GTE pump, okay, you can use a bigger bearing or an HX bearing. The HX bearing is gonna give you that 0.001 extra of clearance, and the extra volume of the GTE pump is not going to be going and diverted to the oil squirter, so it's going to be going right to the mains, okay, and giving you that extra cushion. It's just like an extra bit of, you know, cushion for the crank, okay? So that's basically what they explained to me, and I'm basically, this is not from me, I'm basically just relaying what they told me, okay, because I wasn't sure on what bearings to use, so I went with what they said, and it actually, everything measured out, like, I mean, everything came in perfect. I didn't have to order any new bearings to kind of, you know, mix match to get the you know, the right clearance. Everything came in really good. And same on the mains too, okay, on the crank. The crank was good. The crank was polished, but it didn't remove any material, so it all came in right around the same. About 0.001 over of what you would normally run it at, okay? So bearings are good, but like I said, I just kind of wanted to show you guys that I am using these rods. And so, because I know how the internet is, and I had a lot of people messaging me, telling me that this 1J that was in here was not stock, and I had no proof. I couldn't, you know, it was only my word. So I'm trying to kind of document this as we go, and just to show you guys that, you know, yeah, I'm going to be the guinea pig on these rods. I know that You know, I post a lot on the 2JZ NAT forum, and you know, a lot of there's mixed reviews on these rods. Like nobody's really used them. There's a couple people who say that there's a drifter or a pro drifter over in Europe that uses them and has zero issues, but and then a lot of other people make fun of them, you know, saying they're from China and all this. So yeah, they are from China, and yes, they're not really good rods, and they are cheap, although they are getting a little more expensive. When I got these were actually sponsored to me. I did not pay for these, just as a disclaimer. These were, you know, they sent them to me, said throw them in your engine, use them, do a review on them. So that's what I'm doing. And I just kind of wanted to stick to my word and do that. So let's go ahead and throw this piston in. I'll show you how to do it. It's super easy. I do highly recommend getting a fixed ring compressor. Okay. Don't fool around with those ones that you have to clamp and all that. Oh my gosh, those are terrible. They're not fun to deal with at all. The fixed ring compressors, they're a little expensive, like 80 bucks for that. But man, you can't go wrong. And then I'll probably use it again if I ever throw some pistons in that block there. So, but anyway, let me put the camera up over here and we'll start putting this piston in. All right, so I got the rings in here. They tell you to clock them. So basically you want your second gap to be towards the front. You want your first or your second ring, I should say, your second compression ring to be towards the front. Your first compression ring to be towards the back. And then basically your oil ring rails, you kind of stagger them like at an angle here and here. So that's pretty much how you do it. And then we'll just put a little oil on in the oil area here, the oil ring area. Kind of just, you don't need a lot because I put a little bit on the ring compressor too. Kind of just work it around. Get your piston started. There, that's pretty much it. And then pretty much, I know, like if you watch some of Jay's videos, they're really good. He does oil on the back of the bearing, but I'm not going to do that. I cleaned it really good, and I've already clearanced it. Not clearanced it, I mean I've already mic'd it out, and everything checks good, so I'm just going to leave it alone. We will use some Ultra Slick. This is what I've been using on the whole engine. I probably put way too much of this assembly lube on here. Like I put a lot. You don't have to do that, I would say, but that's what I do. I don't see how it could hurt. So the dot goes towards the front of the engine. You can kind of just rock it around a little bit. That's it. That is so much easier than using one of those crank ring compressors. I mean, that took 5 seconds. So, and you kind of, I like to kind of reach my hand underneath and find the rod and kind of guide it onto the crank. And at that point, you can flip it over. So the numbers on these caps are etched on one side. So you basically just match it up and that's it. And then I like to use it's kind of hard doing this with one hand. So I like to take something plastic like this and basically get it started. I don't want to use the bolts to pull it down onto the alignment pins. Okay, so I want to just kind of tap it. And it gets it started. That way you're not using the bolt to pull it down. I do like the alignment pins on these rods though. The alignment pins are very tight. So it really aligns the rod. And when you tighten these, it pretty much makes the line, like the parting line of the cap itself or the rod, like it almost disappears. Like you can hardly see it. I don't know if you can tell over here or not, but like, yeah, the fit is actually pretty good on as far as that goes. So these bolts are, they're 3/8 ARP 2000s, so it's 45 foot-pounds. And I'm just kind of doing it by hand until I get it close. I've already got this set at 45. Double check, yep. There you go, that's it. So the only other thing I didn't show that I've already done, is the main caps. You know, I'm just using the stock bolts, stock main caps and all that. So you do 35 foot-pounds on the main bolts, and then you put a line on it, and then you just turn them 90 degrees. Pretty simple. It's like 33 or 35 foot-pounds. I don't know, you can look it up. And then you put a line, and then each one you'll go 90 degrees. So that's pretty much that. And then let's check to make sure nothing binds up here. And you don't hear anything funny. See what I mean? Like the parting line on the cap, I mean, you can see it barely, but you know, it's fairly good. I mean, so those alignment pins are actually pretty nice. Yeah. As you can see, I use tons of assembly lube. And then I also like to, I mean, I don't know, even afterwards, I'll put even more oil on it, so that in between, you know, the journals here, it's getting lubed. You can't have too much. Spins beautifully. So let's flip this around. So yeah, another thing I wanted to kind of go over was like balancing these engines. The JZs are kind of, well, first off, the crank itself is a neutral balance crank. So let's say you had no pistons and rods in here at all, and you spun the crank would be balanced, okay? So in a JZ engine, it kind of naturally balances itself. This is kind of what my machine shop kind of explained to me, because I asked him, I'm like, hey, do I need to balance this thing? And he's like, no, because unless the factory crank is so far off balance from the factory, but he's like, he's done quite a few and he's never seen one that's really crazy off balance. So you know, you don't really need to do that. You know, this crank has been polished and that's it. Like I said, JZ engines are neutral balanced and naturally balanced. And what that means is basically when one piston's at the bottom, two other ones are at the top and two other ones are in the middle. Okay. So as long as your pistons and rods are balanced together, meaning there's no variance in their weights between each other, then you shouldn't have a balance issue. Because like I said, it's naturally balanced. So one piston's at the top, the other one's at the bottom, or two pistons are at the top, two are at the bottom, and then these two are in the middle, or vice versa, whichever orientation the stroke is in. As you can see, if you have two at the top, two at the bottom, and two in the middle, that's balanced, okay? You don't need to remove material from your crank in order to balance that, okay? Even though the pistons and rods are lighter, it doesn't matter, okay? So no need to do that. You don't need to go and, you know, take your balancer and your flywheel and all that. You don't really need to do that unless, I don't know. I mean, I'm speaking of from what my machinist told me, and he's done quite a few of these. So unless you're trying to lighten the crank to make it rev faster, I don't know. I guess you could do that, but as far as needing to get it balanced, you really don't. And there's so many different views on that on Facebook and on the forums and stuff like that. And I was curious myself, so that's why I asked, and that's what was explained to me. So I'm just relaying the information, but always do your own research. You know, make sure, you know, I don't want to have you guys do something and you destroy your engine or whatever. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. And yeah, he did a nice little job painting it too. He painted it for me, replaced all the freeze plugs, and yeah. So I went ahead and ordered a new oil pump. I went straight to Toyota, where I'm not far from where I live. There's a Toyota dealership, and I ordered a GTE oil pump and what else? Oh, and a 2JZ GTE head gasket too. It's actually, believe it or not, it was cheaper than getting it from Real Street or Titan Motorsports or any of the other ones online. It was actually the cheapest at the dealership. It's weird. And the thing is, I was a little leery of just ordering the cheapest, you know, head gasket and the cheapest oil pump because of all the fakes that are out there. You just don't know. So going straight to a dealership, you know, they can get in big trouble for selling fakes. So I know it's a real GTE pump and a real 2JZ head gasket. So, and the 2JZ head gaskets from Toyota, the standard gaskets are really good. It's a multi-layer steel gasket. Most likely it's made by one of the big manufacturers like Cometic or something. I don't know, maybe. Or they make them in Japan. I don't really know. But we got that coming. And as far as the head goes, we're still trying to, I need to message Head Games over there and see what springs he recommends I run. And because he told me those ones are not going to work for this deal, which is fine. And then we have to measure out and order the correct buckets to get our clearances right. So we still need to do that. But it's coming together. It's getting close. What I can do is when we get the oil pump, that comes in on Thursday, I can install the oil pump. Then we can go ahead and put the rear main seal on. And then we can go ahead and do the oil pan, get all that put on. And yeah, then we'll have an assembled completely bottom end. We won't have to do anything else to that. And I do have a brand new Gates timing belt. Yeah, and just a bunch of other little stuff too. So, but anyway, just wanted to give you guys an update, show you that I am using the Max Speeding rods, and we'll put them to the test, see what happens. I'll be the guinea pig. Anyway, that's gonna do it, guys. Check y'all later.